Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Eric with West First Books, and I want to welcome you back to another video. First off, if you can, go ahead and smash that like button for me, as I am 3 videos in and I'm staying on course. New videos are uploaded on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you don't know, if you're new to my channel, I am a full-time eBay, Amazon reseller. So if thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales are selling it, I'm buying it and I'm flipping it for a profit. So go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe for more videos. Alright everybody, so my name is Eric, and next to me is my father-in-law, Ray Green, and also known online as Rayality Enterprises. How you doing, Ray?
Doing good.
Awesome. So we're here at Ariel Park in Mount Vernon, Ohio, and today is going to be a kind of a different video. It's not going to be your what sold or going to the thrift store kind of video, because today is the 19th anniversary of September 11th, and that plays a very special place into our family's hearts. And we were both from New York, but Ray has a great testimony that we're not going to go through the whole testimony here on this video, but we are going to go ahead and link below in the description a link to a local radio station that did a video and audio on his testimony, and it's over like an hour and a half long, I believe. And Marcy Reinhardt and all the team there from WNZR has done a tremendous job recording that. And now we actually, wow, after probably 17, 18 years of hearing that story, it's now recorded, finally. So, so I just wanted to do a quick video here and bring Ray on and tell you guys, you know, that's how I got started in reselling books. So I figured I would ask Ray how he got started in books, and then talk a little bit about the 9/11 story, and then kind of go from there. So Ray, how did you get started in selling books on Amazon?
Started in books with trying to raise money for a teen group at church, and they just had them go around and canvass all the neighborhoods, see if they had any books that they would be willing to sell, and we would try and sell them online at the church. And from there it started out with about 200 books, and we ended up going to, you know, multiple thousands through so many different venues, you know, at the church, raising money so kids could go to camp at a church. So kind of like started as a fundraiser. Let's get books and sell it as a... Yeah. So when I met Ray, his wife Carolyn, and his daughter Amanda is my wife now, and when I met them and we moved into the church at the time, it was wall-to-wall books. And it was just like, who makes money selling books was the question that kept going through my mind, because I was in a position where I was in sales, but it was like, okay, you have this desk or you have this car and you sell it, but people, I don't think people are buying books. And he proved me wrong big time. And so years later I started working in the dealership, and the dealership went under, and there was probably a good 3 weeks where I wasn't making any money. And I ended up leaving the dealership, and I remember you came to us in Texas, this is fast forwarding years from New York, and said, hey, why don't you try selling books on Amazon? As well as your son Caleb, he also said he was doing books at the time, and I said, nah, there's no money in books. I was wrong again, did some research, and here we are 3.5 years later, and I'm still selling books, and I'm grateful that I get to sell books at home and be with my kids. And Amen. Yeah.
I think you've been selling books for what, 10, 15, at least 15 years that I know.
17 years.
17 years.
Yeah,
so
17 years selling books on Alibreeze or Amazon, but Amazon's the main.
Amazon was the main. Yeah, you were sending in the FBA, and then with their fees and things went to Merchant Fulfilled. And
right.
So off the top of your head, and I know we didn't discuss this beforehand, and I'm just kind of thinking off the top here, what is like your favorite haul that you've done? Because I know you have some like amazing stories of getting some incredible books.
Buying 13 pallets of books from the Pentagon library, and just amazing, the books that, you know, the money that kept us going for 3 years. For 3 years straight,
yeah. I mean, we still have books that we're selling that are from the Pentagon library.
That's right.
So many of you guys don't know, and I haven't talked about it in any of my videos because I think this is my 4th video, so it's not that many out there, but Ray was diagnosed with melanoma cancer, and has tremendous tumors due to the smoke and a lot of different things that happened on 9/11. So I've been helping at the office.
He's doing all the work.
Handling all the orders, handling all the customer inquiries, and trying to get new books listed, things like that, to help them keep that going. But a lot of the books that I do see, especially the Jane's military books,
Right.
a lot of these one-off books that came from the Pentagon Library, the Naval War College, those are just some of the ones that I see come through there. NASA, yeah, you can't find these books anywheres, and a lot of times we're selling them, they're going overseas, they're going international orders, so that's been pretty fun to see those go over. But so yeah, real quick, I got something today, and ironically, you know, I do a lot of Goodwill shopping today, and hopefully the camera can pick this up. It says Manhattan Blues, and I'll have Ray take a look at it here and I'll put an image up here somewhere on the screen. Ironically, on 9/11, I find a puzzle with the Twin Towers on the front.
Sitting on it, yeah.
So I thought I'd bring this over because it's kind of unique and kind of cool. It's made by Hallmark. I don't know what the year it is.
Bridge.
But
yeah, this is this has to be like 80.
So this is the Empire State Building and Twin Towers?
It's that'd be the Empire State Building and Twin Towers, and I'm not sure which bridge. I'm a little confused on that. I think that's not the Brooklyn Bridge. That's one of the other ones. Yeah. But
well, it's going into Manhattan,
yeah,
so yeah. But there's multiple bridges too that go into there. But
right.
But so, anyways, I thought I'd bring this and just talk a little bit about going back to 9/11. The first time that I was in the city was a week before the towers fell. Born and raised in New York, living about 86 miles, I guess, north of the city.
Northwest.
I've never been to the city other than a baseball game, and I was too young to really do anything. But when I finally got to go, I remember putting my hand up on one of the Twin Towers and looking up and just being like, you know, scared as heights as I am, and we were just talking about this, you know, being able to put my hand up there and going, wow. And then the first thought in my mind was watching the Home Alone movie where Macaulay Culkin goes to Manhattan and sees the Twin Towers, and he goes up onto the tower, and he's looking through one of those viewfinders, and so you know, that's my only memory of seeing those buildings up there. But I know you've been on probably one or both of these buildings.
Both of them. I remember on the it was the North Tower, which had the 300-foot antenna on top of it. We had a 35-foot stub antenna, and I remember going over to the edge and looking over and looking down 114 stories, and started getting butterflies from that. Even though there was a wire over there, but it's an amazing thing because everything was dwarfed by those 114-story buildings. The nearest other buildings close by it were like 84 stories. And after the towers went down, I remember going back there and looking and seeing how much all the other buildings had grown so much taller, and yet it was just a reference point, you know, because they were missing there, you know.
Being somebody that is afraid of heights, I can't even imagine. I think you told me one time in New York, we were in the back room there where all the books were and something like that, and you had told me that when you're up there, if you sit still, you can feel the building shift.
In the wind, you can feel it, and it goes from 30 to 35 feet, and that plays havoc with. I was setting up microwave shots, so I had to use larger dishes because a wider angle on them, so you wouldn't lose the signal as much.
Wow.
because the movement up there moves, and in a real storm, some people can't handle it. They get a little sick from it.
That's incredible. All right, so we're gonna spend the next 3 hours building this puzzle. No, I'm just kidding. So we'll let Asher do that. Asher's still the puzzle. Asher's my son, and he's the puzzle master. So pick this up for $1. How ironic on 9/11. I just thought that was pretty cool. Going back to that day and seeing this picture, you know, all beautiful, and that was the skyline image. I remember coming to Columbus and going to work at Nationwide Children's Hospital, and during orientation they showed what their city skyline looked like, and I just started laughing because we lived in New York, and I'm like, where's your city? It's just completely different. So I mean, you know, seeing this, like, you know, what's the first thoughts that come to your mind? I mean, just seeing those two buildings there, like
a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it affected me emotionally a lot too, because that was my home. That was we were part of they called us the A team because we got all the Port Authority buildings, which was the Empire State Building, the 2 trade towers, and that was I designed the microwave system in there. And we were on 8814 was our hub site up there on the South Tower, and I remember going back there, and it was like just like something was ripped out of me.
Yeah, yeah. We had gone back to the ground zero site after weeks after, and I remember going down. They had a bunch of these construction hallways made up, and you can go down. And I remember seeing a bunch of toys and a bunch of look who's looking for this person or that person, and it was like you pick the item up and you can see the dust around it still weeks and months afterwards. And I just remember going to Manhattan the first time, and you hear all the noise, the traffic, the taxis, everything you see in the movies, and then you go there that day and it was as quiet as where we are right now in the park, and it was just a eerie, like you said, like lost.
I remember 3 days after the towers went down, I went in and looked, and there was a hook and ladder fire engine that was the top part of the whole fire engine was only 3 feet off the ground. Everything else had been crushed.
Wow.
Just amazing. And you're trying to figure out what it is, and then you can see the ladder, sticking out, but that's all, it's just.
Wow. But I do remember, it was still a tough time, but we are diehard Yankee fans. So go Yankees. I mean, this, forgive me, but this season is just, I think in baseball, football, basketball, I don't care what sport you watch, this year has just been crazy. It's not normal. I can't wait till 2021 and April comes and we can get back into actual spring training. But that was probably my favorite year to watch baseball, to watch World Series, when the Yankees played and Lee Green Oswald, I think is his name, did God Bless America, and just watching that game at
Mariano.
home. Yeah, Mariano Rivera, the Sandman, just watching that team.
The emotion of that game, just, I still get teary-eyed thinking about it. It was just
every time I think of that game, I think of Joe Torre's face. Joe Torre was the coach at the time, and just seeing his face and the crowd and how America came together, and it was like what everybody was feeling in the world that time, because this was a worldwide affected event.
Amen.
All came together in Yankee Stadium. It was just a great time. But so for you guys that don't know, and I'm leaving links below in the description to Ray's testimony, also to some other links to events that happened around 9/11, but to kind of give like a synopsis or a quick overview, what were you doing in New York that day that started everything? Like what was your career, or what led up to you going into?
I was designing microwave rooftop to rooftop building shots, bypassing the local telephone exchange, and we were putting in hub sites all over Lower Manhattan from 60th Street on down. There's about 5,000 buildings, and I had surveyed most of them, gone on top of them, and was designing those. But the first day that it happened, I couldn't get home, and then I finally made it home, and they called me immediately back down and said, "Get down here with your truck," and we got work to do, but couldn't get into the city. And it was then we got down to ground zero. Finally got down to ground zero to survey the thing, and it was. The devastation was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was putting in for communications for the police, fire, the morgue, all the alphabet soup agencies of the government that had trailers down there, and the only communications they had was a pickup truck driving around, stopping at each trailer and asking for messages, and they'd drive up north, make phone calls, and then they'd bring any messages back down to them with a single pickup truck, doing a loop every 2 hours or so. That was the only communication. So we were able to put in a microwave shot for the
only communication in this entire city. That's just crazy.
There was nothing left. The fire was so intense and so deep underground, it created so much electronic static and noise that no electronics would work below below about 20 gig, which our stuff was just a little bit above that. So we were able to put in a shot. It was just the hand of God, you know,
Yeah.
and to be able to put it in. And he did so many things. I can't even, you know, you have to listen to the story.
Yeah,
to
yeah. So
understand.
definitely listen to the story, because there's times where Ray was up against the wall, up against the wall, up against the wall,
again.
and it's just like one thing after another. And then with a simple prayer of, God, you've got to take this, you got to handle this, you got to make a way where there seems to be no way, kind of thing. And it happened,
And it really
and it
did.
happened. And so I definitely encourage you guys to take a look at that link down below. I didn't want to go ahead and have him redo that testimony again because it's already recorded. You can listen to the audio version and you can listen to the video version. But I just wanted to bring Ray on today because he got me started selling books. I've been selling on eBay since probably lower 2000s. I mean, for a while on and off, but I never did it full time. But he really got me into books, and just things have been, you know, I mean, I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful that you know.
I'm grateful for you because you're the thing that keeps it running and keeps it going, and not afraid to pray over everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I go into that warehouse, and where his office is, there's a bunch of glass that separates his office from the craziness outside, and I got Bible verses on there and pictures of him, and we're praying. And but I hope that you guys, on this anniversary, I know my mom's texted me today that she's been a mess and she's gone through a box of tissues listening to your testimony, just remembering being in New York. You know, all my family is now in Ohio, but you know, we still have family in New York, and this day, you know, whether it's 19 years ago, or it's still a day that affects us. We know exactly where we were, what we were doing, how we were doing it, and so I wanted to go ahead and get this video out there just to share to a different community that may have not have heard this story, and bring it to you guys. So I appreciate you guys watching, and you know, if you can, go ahead and share this with a friend, you know, and pass it around. So I appreciate it. Again, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link in the description below. Go ahead and click that video, listen to his testimony that was recorded not too far from here at a church by WNZR in Mount Vernon. So until then, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Remember your why, change your perspective, and complete well.
Never forget.
I love you guys.